How do we reprogram our mind for positivity? How do we reprogram? And let me tell you, first of all, I have to reprogram my mind for positivity every single day, multiple times a day. Like, I do this work, but let me tell you, it is a practice. It is not down pat. It is not automatic. It is something that you literally have to commit to every single day. So, and I don't know about you all, but most of y'all know I've been here for a while. I moved to Atlanta this year and it's been hard. And I'm just going to catch you up on the last hard thing that happened, which was I lost my passport and my driver's license and my entire wallet with my passport, my driver's license, all my credit cards, and a lot of other things this weekend. Look, we can't just jump to the positivity without talking about the negativity. Like, we all are humans being, and we all have these things that happen to us that are not ideal. We all need to reframe our minds for positivity, and it's not always easy. But I'm going to share a couple things that I do to help really reframe my mind when I'm hardest hit, when I'm experiencing pain, when I'm frustrated. And as you all know, as your in-house wellness expert, I really like to work with all the parts of the body, the mind, the body, the soul. And I really like to work with our spiritual energy centers because most people know nothing about them and how powerful they are in reprogramming and practicing daily alignment. I truly believe we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so when we align ourselves spiritually, that is the number one way to shift your mindset from negative to positive. If you think about, like, everything I'm going through is either a lesson or a blessing. And even if it's a lesson, it is still a blessing. Then that is the number one thing that I do to shift my mindset to positivity. So number one is spirituality, right? And so underneath that spirituality pillar, the reason that one helps me the most is because it reminds me that, like, everything is fleeting that I'm experiencing. It's enduring for a time, but eventually it'll be on to the next thing. And a lot of times we can get stuck in the pain, we can get stuck in the fear, we can get stuck in the frustration of not having a wallet, the frustration of going through the divorce, the frustration of all these things. And we can forget all the blessings in our life. We can forget the things that we're grateful for. We forget the people that are still rooting for us to win. So when you align spiritually, it's, I talk a lot, if you've been to one of my trainings before, about our spiritual energy centers or our chakras. We have 7 main ones. We have many, but 7 main ones that we talk about that a lot of us can feel. Usually we feel a pain in our gut or some energy in our gut. Some people might feel a lump in the throat. Some people feel specifically, and I feel like heartache, or you can feel pain in your heart. Some people experience headaches or migraines. So there are different ways that people can experience these energy centers. And if you are more aware of how they work, you can actually align yourself spiritually and make sure you're doing everything you need to get to that positive state. So it's not just about, okay, I'm going to say some affirmations, right? It's not just about, okay, nothing matters when we know it matters and we're still in pain. It's about energetically shifting. So the number one thing we're going to start with is the root. Okay, when you're feeling unsafe because someone else has your ID, someone else has your wallet, or someone that you were in love with, you are now realizing that you can't live the rest of your lives together, or someone has broken and hacked your Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media account, and you're like, okay, this is my livelihood, right? Or even this is just my hobby, and I'm upset about it. So when that happens, you lose a sense of safety. Let's be real, you lose it, right? And so in that moment, in order for you to function in a positive state that is just not angry and just ripping everything from the rooter to the tutor, frantic, which can get you in a lower vibration, which could cause other things to happen that are not ideal, the first thing that you need to do is ground in spirituality and ground in safety. So you want to feel safe. So in my case, I lost my wallet. I need to cancel my cards. I need to let people know what happened, retrace my steps, look for things. If you're on social, you cancel your accounts. If you're in a relationship where you're not safe, you've been abused emotionally, physically, any type of way, you want to first seek safety. If you don't seek safety, it's going to be hard for you to be positive if you don't feel safe. And I know we're going really deep, but y'all know we go deep, hard, and fast, right? I love to do it. So, and I really feel like a lot of us are dealing with these things right now because we're going through a mental health pandemic where a lot of people are not well, and a lot of us are trying to heal. So even though we're not intentionally harming each other, intention doesn't equal impact, and we're harming each other, right? So first, you want to get safe. Safety can also look like something we talked about before. If you didn't see my healthy boundaries session, go back and look at that. Creating healthy boundaries, especially if it's when it's relationship, is really important. So saying, you know what, I don't feel safe in this relationship. I don't feel safe in this partnership. I don't feel safe in this friendship. So I'm going to need some space. I just had a situation where I was with a friend and we interacted with another person, and it didn't feel safe for either one of us. And we had to communicate that. And it was really hard because this person we thought was a great person, this person we thought had all these positive qualities, all this alignment. And when we realized it, it was in person, and it was shocking and it was jarring for both of us. And so asking for a space was hard, especially after we made all these plans to be together. But we had to have space to decide, do we want to move forward with this person? Do you want to? Do you want to? Because a lot of times when you get into situations, you have all these great plans and all of a sudden you think, okay, this is terrible. This is negative. And you start talking about it and you can be down like, oh my goodness, I put all this energy, this time, this money, and now it's gone. First, seek safety. So that safety looks like communication. That safety looks like healthy boundaries. And that all has to do with your root chakra. And if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. But this is a really important one because if you don't feel safe, it's going to be hard for you to be positive because you're literally in fight or flight mode. Basically, you know, we've talked before about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. If you don't feel safe, you're going to be in the sympathetic. People that have been highly traumatized, the reason they stay, you know, in a fear state and they don't trust people is because they don't feel safe. So people who don't feel safe will talk about other people, they will judge, they will shame, they will fight. I mean, anything, whatever they can do, because they're like, I don't feel safe in my body. I don't feel well. Someone has harmed me and I'm not okay. Some people live their entire lives in this feeling of not safety. So you wonder, why can't that person be positive? Why are they always negative? They have such a sour attitude. Well, guess what? Something happened to them. At some point in time, something happened to them, and that's where they're functioning that way. So if they want to work on that, if they can find a sense of safety and then start working through these other things we're about to talk about, the other ways of communicating and processing their pain, then and only then will they be able to shift through positivity. Without addressing whatever jarred their sense of safety, it's going to be really hard for them to shift to that positivity.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.